Hi everyone, this is Robin and welcome to my Mr. Funny Bones online mini class. So this is a mini class, so we're just doing 4 designs instead of 6. Well, we're doing 2 designs instead of 3 and 4 cards. We're using the Mr. Funny Bones stamp set and Whisper White and a basic black. So this is what should have come in your kit, your your class package, and this is what you should have or you have upgraded. So welcome to those of you who are new to my class. If this is your first online class with me, I hope you enjoy it. We're gonna have a lot of fun. This one's kind of creepy and weird, but for those of you who love skeletons, I had a lot of requests for this stamp class and I wasn't planning on it, but if I get enough requests I will do a class for you guys. But the projects turned out super cute. I love them. Everyone that I show them to loves them, so I hope you love them as well. Welcome back to my class members who have taken other classes with me. I am so grateful that you're here. It's nice to have you back. Okay, so you're also going to need for this class, you are going to need some adhesive, and you're going to need a glue dot, some dimensionals, and you will need blocks right here. So let's go ahead and separate what we're using in our class packet. This is probably going to go really fast since there's only 2 designs instead of 3, and they're actually kind of simple projects, but they're fun. So we'll start with the pink one first. You should have received 4 Whisper White envelopes that you can stamp on the front or right here to coordinate with your card. That's a special added touch that I love on my cards that I send out. Okay, and in the very bottom, you will have a class supply list. This has everything that I've used in the class and the sizes. So if you need to reorder anything to make more, or if you really liked a product that you're working with that I have for you, you can reorder it there. And I thought I closed my computer, but I guess I didn't, so we might hear it ding. Okay, so this is what you're going to use first. We're going to use the pink one, and then we'll set this one aside. And I'm going to go ahead and separate it out into 2 separate piles. Let's put our ribbon aside. Let's get this separated. And this is a non-traditional Halloween color, but why not use pink and gray? I think it's just gorgeous. If I had my choice, that would be the Halloween colors, would be pink and gray, right? All right, you have some different, this class you will have 2 of each of everything we use because we're not using the Big Shot for this class. Okay, set that aside. And then my ribbon, I'm gonna go ahead and cut it in half and then set that, half of that aside with my other class, or my other card. And then this one I'm also going to cut in half. So measure it and then cut that in half. Now for this one, we're going to be using, I'll show you the stamps that we're going to use. Some of them are a little bit tricky. There's a lot of little pieces. There's a lot of little bones and stuff. So I kind of had to look closely to see what went with where, right, with what. So it's nice to have a lot of small blocks. But if you're using the larger block, just make sure you don't rock them, because sometimes you'll get ink on the block. And then if you rock it, that ink's going to just go right onto your card or your project. And that doesn't make it as fun. That's kind of sad. All right, so what we're going to use for this one is we're using the skeleton right here that is just kind of the silhouette or the outline. And since these are the clear photopolymer stamps, it doesn't really matter where we put them on our blocks because we can see through them. Okay, we're going to use the skeleton body. I'll use a bigger block for that and use my smaller ones. And then we're going to be using, which one am I using? The large bone, right? Okay, hold on, I have to check. Oh, okay, Robin, which one am I using? This one or this one? I think I'm using the larger one right here. Okay, we'll use the larger one. Or do I want to use the smaller one? I think it doesn't really matter. It's just a cartoon of a skeleton. It'll be fine. If you guys know and you're more familiar with bones, you might want to use the correct one. We're going to use this one here. This one right here next. If you know the names of the bones, I'm really impressed. I do not know the names of the bones. I had to ask my husband. My husband, that was one of his, microbiology was actually his major for pre-dental, but he knows a lot about all of this stuff, so I had to ask him some questions. Okay, so we're going to use one of the hands, and the hand that we're going to use is going to be the one, wait, nope, that's backwards, Robin. That is going to be backwards. Is that one backwards? Oh, no, that one's right. Nope. Hold on. I'm having a little problem here. Okay, so when we stamp it, yes, this one's right. We want the thumb. It's going to look like they're waving. They're like going like this, but this is the right one. Okay, so it's on the bottom. That's the right one. And we're using Have a Spooktacular. I like this because there's so many great sayings in here. There's Oh Snap, which would be really a fun card to give to somebody who maybe has broken a leg or an arm. I mean, all in good fun, right? Send them a card thinking of you, or Oh Snap. We're going to be using Have a Humorous Halloween, because humorous is what we're using, right? The humerus bone. If I'm saying any of these terms wrong, you please just laugh at me. I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that. Okay, that's all we need for this one. Yay, now I can make the really cute project. So we're using this here, and it's going to be, so it is cut at 2 3/4 by 2 1/2. The reason I'm telling you the size with this one is because we want it to be shorter, like up and down is shorter, and then it's wider. It's wider. It's wider this way. I hope that made a lot of sense to you guys. Okay, for this one, we're just using the basic black ink pad. And we're going to start with the head, because you want to make sure you have enough room at the top. So I am going to stamp the head right here. And then I am going to next stamp the body in the basic black. I'm going to make sure that it lines up okay. Ta-da! That look creepy? I think it looks really creepy, but I hope you like it. Now we're going to stamp this long bone just kind of down like that and down like that. And we're going to be covering them up, so that's why it's okay. This bottom part we're not going to see, but this top part, let's go ahead and stamp it. This is going to connect like this. Oops, I did rock it a little bit, but oops, I see this is a perfect example, and I'm going to leave it as an example of what happens when you rock it. And I'm working around a camera, so I have an excuse. It's hard for me to get in there and get a really good stamped image. Okay, so there's my cute little hand, and that's all we need for that one. I'm going to set it aside, let it kind of set in on the Whisper White, because it's a smoother finish, so it stamps really a nice crisp image, but it'll sometimes smear if you're not careful, and you guys probably have found that out as well. So just set it aside for just about a minute. Okay, now we're going to stamp Happy Halloween on this piece right here. Have a humorous Halloween, not Happy Halloween. Okay, out of the two cards that we're doing, the two designs, usually I have a clear favorite. They are both my favorite this time. I love them both equally the same for different reasons, and I'll show you why in a minute. I just really love this color combination. So make sure you remember this color combination. You can use it for seasonal. It makes really fun snowflake cards using the Going Gray and the Melon Mambo. Those are really super fun. Okay, so I folded over my Melon Mambo cardstock, and now I'm going to set these two aside, and I'm going to attach this piece right here, my skeleton, using my adhesive. I'm going to add it, it's going to be about 1/4 inch down from the top. And then I'm going to add some adhesive onto this strip here, and this is going to cover it. It's going to look like it's like hanging out on the wall, like its arms like, hello, how are you doing? Do you see that? That's what it's going to look like. And we're going to take our ribbon here that we've cut in half and half. And yeah, my little boys, whoa, I'm having accidents here. My little boys were playing with all of my tape on Sunday because they get bored on Sunday because we don't really, there's not a lot to do around here. So they were making paper airplanes with my tape down there, and I forgot to bring it back up. Okay, we're going to take one strip of this Melon Mambo stitched ribbon, and we're going to pull it across like this. And we're going to do the same thing with the other piece. Just grab some tape, regular tape, and we're going to put this down here, give this a border. And I thought this was a fun little added touch to do that. Give it some color, since my skeleton's looking pretty pale. They need some color. Okay. All right, and so now we have that, and we're going to turn it over. Just put a little bit here and there, and I'm going to add this on my Whisper White cardstock. Tape is sticking over on my Whisper White, and that just makes all of the white just pop out. And we are going to add that onto my Melon Mambo. Melon Mambo right here. And we're going to take some dimensionals and we're going to add them onto the back of our little banner. And I'm just going to do 2 on this one. You could do 4 too as well if you want to make it a little more sturdy. And I'm going to just put this right here. So there's one of our cards. I'm all crooked up here today. There we go. And here is the other one that I made that doesn't have the little black smudge on it. Super cute, I love it. See, can you see how this would be one of my favorites? Well, just wait till we do the next one because you're gonna love it too. Okay, so let's pull our stack of black and paper, our pumpkin pie, and we're going to separate these pieces as well. You should have 2 of each for this card. All right, a lot of little pieces with this one. Okay, and the cute little tie, isn't that so adorable? I love it. And for this one, we're going to be using the black and the white, but we will start with the Whisper White. And we're going to need to clean off our stamps that we just used because we're using most of them again. So I'm going to pull out my Stamp and Scrub, which is an absolute essential item that you need for your craft room when you're stamping. You can just clean them off super easy. And then now we're going to get our white out. Okay, so the first piece we're going to be using is this black piece here. So it's the smaller piece of the black. We're using the skeleton body, and then we're going to use the solid skeleton head. So if you even want to take off the other one and add it on, you can. Skeleton body, skeleton head. Now this one we're using a lot of the bones. So we're also going to be using, I almost pulled out my cheater card. We're using both of the feet. So I'm going to need a lot of these little, you guys can clean them off because I know a lot of us don't have as many blocks just yet. You'll want to definitely build up your collection. We're using all of these bone sizes, the small one, the large one, and then we're using both hands. So I'm going to, let me get a smaller one, like that. So we're using both hands, and then we're using both feet, and those are kind of, they look kind of weird in here, this one and then this one. So let me show you on here which ones they are. They're these 2 right here. So we're using those. I'm going to try to find, oh, I found some small ones. I'm in luck. Here we go. They're at the very bottom. So I'm going to put my feet on here. That is the longest part of this card is all of the different pieces. So is that all I need? I've got the bones. Oh, I need this bone as well. Do I need that bone as well? Wait a minute. No, I don't need that bone. Okay, the only other thing I need is where it says Happy, Spooky, Creepy, Halloween, Scary, Halloween. Okay, and we will set that one aside. Well, we don't need that one for a bit. Okay, now we have our Whisper White, and we are going to do the same thing that we did with the black. Now the Whisper White is a pigment ink pad. So this is meant for embossing, or it's opaque, so you can use it on a dark color. It does not dry instantly. Be very careful because you could smear it. It will eventually dry if you just set it aside. It does dry because the card that I'm working with, the sample, is completely dry. But it takes, and you guys know if you've worked with the Whisper White, it just takes a little bit longer because it stays wet. So if you want to emboss this, if you guys have all the embossing powder, you could also emboss this skeleton. It would look really nice. So we're going to stamp up the head, and I kind of want it at the top. Let me kind of see where I want it. Okay, I'm going to stamp it right here. Ooh, it looks really pretty. And I'm going to ink this up as well, the body. I'm going to have to, let's see here. It might be a little crooked, but you guys, there we go. And it's okay if it's not totally attached. We're going to be putting the tie there, so that's going to cover that up. Okay, so this is where we're doing a little bit of the bones and such. So I'm using the smaller bone and the larger bone, and I'm actually going to just go ahead and do the smaller bone first, attached on here. And then I'm going to do the larger one, kind of however you want your skeleton to be standing. I should have made those go out a little bit wider, but it's completely up to you. His knees look a little bony to me, but that's okay. It's okay to have bony knees. And you guys are going to do a better job than me because you don't have to work around this silly camera today. And I'll show you my completed one, and it looks really good. There we go. So we have this, and now for the arms, let's go ahead and let's do the larger one, or the smaller one. Let's do the smaller one. I'm going to do the smaller one for this one. And this one is going to just go down here. And we don't even need the other one that I showed you earlier because, all right, this is where it gets a little bit tricky, but not really. We're going to be using our little white piece kind of as a mask. So this is going to go up to here, and all you're going to see on the bottom is just the little hands. And so the hands are going to be, let's see, the thumbs are going to be, let me look, the thumbs are going to be out. So this one will be this way, and it's not really going to be attached, it's going to be down here more. Okay, like that, because when you put it on, it's going to look like it's holding the sign. It's a little tricky, but that's okay, it's fun. It's a fun type of tricky. Okay. And we're going to do the same thing on this side. Okay, now set that aside. That's all the white that we need. Let's go ahead and put our white ink pad away. That, like I said, will take a little time. If you have a heat tool, you could set this and it'll dry instantly if you set it. Okay, now we're going to take the Happy Halloween with our basic black. It's not Happy Halloween, it's everything. It's happy, spooky, creepy, scary. Stamp that right on here. Ta-da! And now set that aside. We're going to start with the bottom. Take our tie away. Let's fold. We're going to score first. This is the thick Whisper White. And you should definitely score it first some way. If you need to use a bone folder or something, just score it. And scoring it just helps it so it folds easier. I got all that white ink on it. Whoa! Okay, so we're just going to fold this over where I scored it. I'm going to use my bone folder. And then this card's going to be like this. So I'm going to start with the black, the basic black. And I'm going to attach this right here. And then I'm going to take my pumpkin pie and I'm going to add this right here as well. And then we're going to take this little piece of the Designer Series paper, the Halloween stack. I'm going to stick it right here. And now we can turn this over carefully. Remember, it's still probably not dry, so if you want to just do this step later, you can. I'm going to carefully turn it over, and I'm going to put my dimensionals on it. So I'm just going to do 1, 2, I'll just do 5 on it. If you wanted to do more because it's a larger piece, that would probably be a good idea. Whoops, wrong one. Uh-oh, I can't get this one off. I didn't get that one off either. Okay. Doop, doop, doop. Okay, oops. Okay, so now I'm going to stick this right here. Look at how wonderful that looks now that it's on your paper. And we're going to take our Happy Halloween, Scary Halloween, and we're also going to add some dimensionals on here, just to pop it up a little bit. And now our skeleton is going to be holding this sign. So make sure that the bottom of the hands, oops, I don't want it there, the bottom of the hands show, like this. And then I'm going to take a glue dot and put it on the back of my bow tie. And I'm just going to add it right here onto my card. And that just kind of makes the card. Doesn't that just make the card? Adding the bow tie on there. And here's the other one that I made. And it's all dry now, just to show you guys that. It does dry if you don't emboss it. It takes a little bit longer. Okay, so I hope you guys enjoyed my first mini class. It might be my last mini class. We'll see. We'll see if I enjoy doing these or not as much. But I really loved these projects. I hope you guys have a happy Halloween. And please let me know if I can do anything for you. And I will see you soon. Bye.